guys, this is Sasha and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, thank you for stopping by. Notice anything different? I finally got my background together and I was so excited to get that done. Sorry if I sound a little nasally. I'm getting over really being sick and just like laying around and tired, and it's been going on for quite some time, but I wanted to come to you today and discuss about being overweight and being pregnant. Now, for those of you who've never watched any of my videos before, I gave birth to my daughter on October 3rd of 2015, and it was a stillbirth. And a lot of questions I've seen in the different forums and things that I have to deal with weight and pregnancies and risks. And so the first thing I really want to clear up before I go any further is stillbirths, miscarriages, infant loss have nothing to do with your weight. That is generally, it affects everyone of all weight ranges, whether you are underweight, normal, overweight, considering the obese range. It happens. And so I don't want the stigma to occur, oh, because I'm overweight, that's why I have a stillbirth. One has nothing to do with the other. It just occurred. But getting back to the topic, again, I've been on a lot of forums and they've been talking about, hey, does that lessen my chances of getting pregnant? Now, I've done some searching around. I love the internet. I love actual documents and research papers. So the things that I say, you can always search for yourself, but I'm just giving you some little fast tips of information. Don't take my word. Always look and ask your doctor about your own personal situation. But talking about obesity or being overweight in general, back in 2009, the Commission of Obstetrics and Gynecology did some research, and obese, not overweight, obese women accounted for 30% at that time of pregnancy. And since then, an article written in March in 2015 talked about how it has increased enormously. So, is it the healthiest thing? We'll get to that later. But are people overweight and obese, and I use that very loosely, getting pregnant? Absolutely. And they're having healthy children. So before I get really in depth, I want to talk about my own self. I am 5'5", and I am currently 241.6 pounds. And when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was about 238 to 240. I'm considered obese because my BMI is like 30, it's over 30. So I'm considered obese. However, when you look at my muscle mass and the percentage of fat that I have in my body, I'm not considered obese by doctor standards. In reality, I only have to lose maybe 50 pounds, which seems like a lot. But when I think of being obese, I think of, I guess, more morbidly obese. And so that's why I use quotations, because your personal physician will tell you what you need to lose and what you don't need to lose. So I will always implore people to talk with your doctor. Don't take a label that is not you. A next point I have is, how do you feel? There are some plump people that are all over social media. I'm not saying that it's everyone, but they are very physically active. They run, they do yoga, they are very flexible. All the things that you would equate as healthy, I again use it loosely, is what they can do. And so I wouldn't deem them unhealthy because their scale size is bigger than what someone thinks it should be. And so when it comes down to pregnancy, I had no problem getting pregnant whatsoever. And my pregnancy was very healthy. I gained the recommended amount of weight. Like I said, I started around 240, and I was bloated because I did so much traveling. So even though I started around 240 and ended up at 275, a lot of that was my body was swelling. So he knew it was water weight. And consequently, once I gave birth to my daughter, I dropped down to like 249 just like that. Now, there's some disclaimers. Stress from it being a stillbirth And then I also carried her for 3 days prior to giving birth to her. So I wasn't really eating or in the best mental state. So there was additional weight. But most of my weight, even at the time of delivery, was a lot of water, and my swelling went down. So people would look at me and not think that I was as heavy as I was because I didn't look the part. So a lot of times we go off how we look. And again, it's misleading because if you look at scientific research and your measurements, they'll say, oh my gosh, you're really overweight. You need to lose some weight. There's no way you can have a child. Versus when you look at your actual, what you're doing medically, what your doctor is doing medically, and the information as far as your medical history, you're perfectly fine. When I was in high school, I weighed around 200 pounds. I've never been one of the people who were like really in the 100s ever. And I'm talking about from 16 on up. Yet I'm wearing size 14, size 12. It's all how you carry your weight. Now, I'm in no way saying be big and be pregnant. I feel like that is a decision that you and your physician need to talk about. But I don't believe you should be condemned because you have a little bit more weight on the scale and people are like, oh, you need to lose weight before you can have a kid. You have to do what's comfortable. You know what feels healthy to you. And it's simple things like, are you winded walking and doing tasks around the house, like doing the laundry or walking at your job? You know, are you out of breath when you go to the grocery store? Look at what you eat. If most of the stuff that you eat is fast food or processed, you could probably make some better choices. That does not mean that you should not have a child. That means you should make better lifestyle choices in general, because that's what it's about. From the moment I found out I was pregnant, I was a lot more conscientious of what I ate, but I also had cravings, so I would give in. Now, as I try again after a loss, my mindset is completely different. I have been losing weight because I personally feel that I don't have as much muscle. I haven't been able to work out pretty much at all since being pregnant. I used to walk when I was pregnant, but not really at the gym. I rejoined the gym and then got in the car accident at the end of October and was hit head on. So I had some problems with my foot. Fast forward to December, found out my foot was broke. So I've really been immobile in terms of being able to be active, running, elliptical, thing like that. I have to stay off my foot if I want it to heal without any problems or having to be rebroken. So what I've been doing to combat everything is to watch what I eat and did a cleanse. Again, I did not do this because someone say, hey, you're overweight. My doctor was like, you're fine. If you want to lose some weight, lose some weight. You know, I would never encourage someone who's embarking on a back-to-back pregnancy to ever gain as much weight the second time as you did the first time. They really frown upon that because it can cause gestational diabetes. And those are facts. That's not opinion, because your body is still recovering from the prior birth, and I was full term. But my personal decision to lose weight was because I wanted to feel healthier. So while I'm waiting to get pregnant, which I pray is soon, I can be getting myself in the best condition that I can be in, because I never wanted to be an unhealthy person. I want to have a long life for my children, and I want them to have healthy habits. And working in a school environment, I realized that a lot of the things that occur in terms of our eating behaviors are learned by the displays we have from our parents. So if our parents are eating unhealthy, then our children are going to eat unhealthy. And they're not going to understand the importance of eating healthy because it hasn't been demonstrated to them. I know since I've been cleaning and eating, my students have been like, and I teach high schoolers, wow, like, what have you been doing? I've been just eating healthier things. I haven't sacrificed. If I want stir fry, I make stir fry. If I want fish, I've been having some fishless fish. If I want steak, I got that too. But I do it in moderation because I know that I have goals set. I want to be the best mom that I can be. So I know this video was a little bit different, but again, if you are like myself and you are overweight, just start small. Maybe substitute something fried for something baked. Or instead of having 3 pops, do 2 pops and a glass of water. just make baby steps and stride, but never get yourself in a box where someone's telling you that you have to lose weight in order to get pregnant unless they're medically telling you. Because there are a lot of judgmental people out there. There were people who the first thing when they found out I lost Shalaya was like, hey, did you have any medical issues or things like that? No. In fact, my pregnancy was healthier than most people who were half my weight and were pregnant at the same time. It was just God's will. So I really hope that you are feeling confident about yourself. It is going to happen no matter what your size is. But to my plus size mamas or hope to be moms, just keep doing what you're doing. Make some better choices, because think about your babies. That's what I think about. I think about my babies that are coming, and I'm like, you know what? Let me eat another salad, because that salad might have the nutrients I need so that my egg can stay nice and nestled in the lining of my uterus. Or this water might be helping my baby stay at a nice, healthy weight so that when I'm 13 DPO, I can see that BFP. So that's my mindset. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little different. As always, thank you for my new subscribers. I thank you so much. I hope you're staying nice and bundled in this cold weather because it is cold. I know the South is getting way more snow than us in Indiana. But as always, I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.